Best of luck to you, Dave. She'll say yes. Yeah! Pew, 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 pew! Come on in, y'all, to Mike's Music Method. Today I'm bringing you a song, but it's even more special than that because look at this comment. I'm going to read a comment here. Dave, I'll leave it somewhat anonymous because you better not break the surprise, everybody, okay? I'm trusting you all out there. Dave says, will you please, please, please do a video on End With You by Benjamin Todd for me? I will pay or do literally whatever I need to do. More on that later, Dave. I want to propose and sing it, but I can't figure it out. Please help Mike. So, Dave, I'm excited to be bringing you this song. You're going to learn it. I promise you. And if you don't learn it, you're going to comment below and everyone's going to lift you up and encourage you because you're going to snag the girl. And everyone here at Mike's Music Method is going to help you do it. And we're excited about it. Benjamin Todd's End With You. That's what we're doing today. If you're new to Mike's Music Method, there are timestamps below. We're going to do a measure by measure breakdown. I walk you through every measure. If the measure is easy for you, then you jump to the next one. The tabs are free to download at mikesmusicmethod.com. Unbelievable. All the content is free. And again, use those timestamps. But I'm trying to give this to everybody at all different skill levels. So if measures are easy, please jump ahead. If you're a more advanced player, just download the tab and jump to the end of the video where I do a slow run through of the whole song and you can practice with me. But for you guys, I do recommend going measure by measure, where you always learn a little bit through studying the nuance, and I give you all the fingerings. And that's it. Let's do it. Let's encourage Dave. Everyone comment below. Dave, you can do it. I say don't wait. Get to that question as soon as you can. A woman doesn't need a ring, dude. Don't spend your money on the ring, Dave. What are you doing? Just propose immediately the second you learn the song and say, hey, I'll save up money and for our kids, right? Your money will be for your kids. She doesn't need a fancy ring. My grandma used to take a $5 bill and she could make a really cool looking ring out of it. I'll even send it to you, Dave. I might have, my grandma passed many years ago, but I might even have that $5 bill she made into a ring for me, and I'll send it to you so you can give it to your girlfriend, Dave. If that'll get you to propose sooner, don't wait. Life is short. Do it. Or don't listen to this idiot on the internet either. All right, let's get to the song. Boop, Benjamin Todd. Capo's going to be on the 4th fret at Let's Do It. Let's do it. Yeah, I'm excited for Dave. Yeah, Dave, life and kids. Be fruitful. All right, let's do the song now, for real. Whew. Measure 1. Capo is on the 4th fret. I have gotten in the habit of retuning because you can get capo pinch where some strings will be a little bit sharp. So throw your capo on, retune, and let's dive in. This first measure is on a C chord. We have a hammer on the 5th string. It's open to 3. And that's our thumb. Then our thumb jumps to the 3rd string. And then we hit the 2nd string with our pointer finger. So I've got the hammer on with the thumb on the 5th string, thumb on the 3rd, then the pointer finger on the 2nd, and then the measure just ends 5 and 3 again. Whew. Measure 2. We're still on that C chord, and we just have a slightly different pattern. Thumb is still going back and forth between 5 and 3. But we have 5, 2, 3, so it's thumb, pointer, thumb, and then right away we do the middle finger on the 1st string. Thumb, pointer, thumb, middle. And then the measure ends really simple, just thumb on 5, thumb on 3. Whew. Measure 3, really sparse and easy. Got an A minor chord, but we're just playing the 5th string and the 2nd. I'm using my thumb and my pointer. That's it. And then it's a G with a B in the bass, and I'm doing the same 2 strings. So I've got the 2nd fret down on the 5th string, and then the 3rd fret down on the 2nd string, and I'm doing thumb and pointer again. So we have that A minor, and then that G/B chord. Whew. Measure 4, we got the classic folk country little moving bass line. So our left hand ring finger is going to move up from the 5th string to the 6th on that C chord. And it starts on the 5th. We're pinching 5 and 1, thumb and middle. Then thumbs alone on 3. That's it. And then the second half of the measure is 6, 3, 4, 2. Thumb on 6, pointer on 3. Thumb on 4 here. So that's the first time, I think, that we've seen the thumb on the 4th string. So pay careful attention to that. And then my middle finger's now on the 2nd string here. So in other words, we've gone from the pointer and the middle being on the top 2, and now they're going to 2 and 3. So there's a little shift that happens there. Pay attention to that. Otherwise, it's not that difficult. One more time. Pinching 5 and 1. thumb alone on 3, move my ring finger up, and I do 6, 3 with my pointer, thumb on 4, and then my middle finger does the 2nd string. I think you guys got it. Whew. Measure 1 through 4 nice and slow, just to make sure we've got it all together here. 3, 4. Those are all half notes there. Hold them. Whew. Measure 5. We continue with a very similar pattern. Still on the C chord. 5, 3, 6, 3 with my pointer. So note that's tricky. At the beginning it's 5 and then 3 with the thumb. And then we do 6. And I hit the 3 with my pointer finger because my thumb then does 4. So a little tricky to get used to if you're not used to it, because we have different fingers playing the same string a moment later. Boom! Hey y'all, the value for value model. I do all these videos and put all the tabs up at no cost, so it's available for everyone to access for free, but keep in mind the videos aren't free. I spend a lot of my time making them, and the value for value model is everyone can access this stuff, so it's not behind a paywall, but in return, just take a minute to ponder, what are these worth to you? I'm providing you with value, and what value is it worth? Maybe that's buying me a cup of coffee every day, $2 a day, $60 a month. Or if you think about, hey, if I didn't have Mike, I'd probably want to do private guitar lessons again. That might be, I don't know, $150 a month, $100 a month. Or every video you learn, maybe you can throw Mike $10 for every song you learn. Or I don't know, and that's the beauty of the value for value model. You get to decide what kind of value this video is providing in your life. And the more you guys pitch in, the more time I can dedicate to this channel. I would love to do this full time and just crank out a bunch of videos and be putting more time into this. So consider that. The more you guys value the channel, the more I can value it too with my time that I'm putting into it. And there's you can start to sponsor songs as a way of donating. If you go to mikesmusicmethod.com, you click on that little song sponsorship, I can't talk, tab, and then you can chip in for different songs that you'd like me to get to sooner rather than later. And that's it. It's a value for value model. I think you guys understand it. Let's keep going with the video. Oh, and the last thing, the more time you guys buy me too, another thing that's cool about this is not only are you paying, like if it was behind a paywall, you'd be giving me $10, but guess what? That means only you get the song. If you guys give $10, it's buying me time to make more songs in the future available to everybody. And let's be honest, most people aren't going to chip in. So when you do, it means a whole bunch, not only to me, but to like the 97% of people who aren't chipping in. You're still allowing the vast majority of people to access this content. So I can't overstate that. It's something to feel good about and be proud of, that you are one of those people chipping in and making this content available to everyone at no cost. The value for value model. End rant. Let's keep going with Benjamin Todd and with you. Look, I remembered his name this time. Whew. Measure 6. Still on a C chord, just pinching 5 and 1. Thumb alone on 3. Then I put the pinky down in my left hand on the 3rd fret, and I pinch 5 and 1 with thumb and middle again. And then it's thumb alone on 3. So I've got 5 and 1, thumb and middle, then the thumb alone, and then I pinch 5 and 1 again with my pinky down, still with thumb and middle in my right hand, and then the thumbs alone on 3. Measure 7 is a nice little A minor. I like the last two measures together because we have that movement on the C and then here into the A minor. Just a nice little walking melody. So the A minor, we're pinching 5 and 1, thumb and middle. Then my thumb is alone on 3. And then I pinch 5 and 2, but my left hand pinky is down on the 3rd fret of that 2nd string, and I'm pinching those two. And I'm probably doing my pointer finger there. Yeah, so I've got thumb and middle, thumb alone on 3, thumb and pointer on the 5th and 2nd string, and then I do thumb alone on 3 again. Whew. Tricky measure 9. This is one of these measures, guys, that you want to learn it before you practice it, okay? Learn it before you practice it. That means go absurdly slow. Not just like, oh, I know what chords to play, I know what strings to play. There's a lot of subtle things going on here in a few different ways that you can do it. So make sure you learn it one way. I'll show you a few different ways. Pick one That's your skill level. Learn it before you practice it. All right, it'll save you so much time. So we have an F chord, and we're just doing the top 4 strings. We don't need these lower 2. And then what's going to happen is for a moment, we're going to utilize these 2 open strings. So I'll talk you through it. So here we go. Let me play it. One more time. So already right off the bat, you guys have a little decision you can make here where it's a bit trickier to do what I wrote on the tab. What I have on the tab is right after that A minor, you're going to the F chord and only hammering that 1 string. So after that A minor, I'm pinning these 2 down and then leaving my ring finger open because we're going to hammer on. So if you go to the F chord, you're going to switch to the F and then have to lift it. So I'm just trying to save you that time of, yes, we're going to the F chord after the A minor in measure 8. Or sorry, we're doing measure 8 now, sorry. So that A minor is in measure 7, and then I'm putting these down, and then I'm hammering into that F. And it's just the 4th string is hammering, open to 3, then it's thumb on 3, and then the middle finger on 1. The other way to do it is if it's too hard for you to kind of only put in some of the chord, you can simply pinch 4 and 2 and just hammer into the entire chord. That might be easier coming out of that A minor, just to not worry about the placement. That's totally fine. It hardly sounds different at all. So you can just pinch 4 and 2 right at the beginning and hammer into the whole chord instead of just doing that hammer on that I showed you a moment ago. So you can either do the hammer on, or you can just hammer into the whole chord. Very subtle difference. Here's the first one, pinching with only the 1 hammer on. Here's the other one. Not that different. So whichever is easier for you, whatever's easier. I'm belaboring the point. And then this next part is tricky. The second half of the measure, we've got 3, open, open, 1. A few different ways to do this. So we came out of that F chord. It's thumb on 4. Then we lift. You have a few options of what to lift here. You can lift the whole thing up. If you do that, just make sure when you're lifting, this is a tip that will apply to all sorts of places. Make sure you're lifting soft. Like, in other words, I'm releasing the pressure first before I physically move my hands off the string. I'll do it in slow motion. Release the pressure and then lift my hands. So it's 2 separate things. Now, of course, you learn to do that really quick. Right, release and lift. What you don't want is this, because then you hear the pull off. And that's a very common beginner mistake. Even at more advanced players, intermediate players will still kind of like accidentally do that when pulling off. So it's not just yanking your hands off the string. I'm releasing the pressure and then lifting my hands off the string. So you can do it that way where you're hitting that F, that 4th string, with your thumb. And then you're lifting the whole chord there to get open on the 2nd string with your pointer and then open with your thumb on the 3rd string. That's totally fine. Another way to do it is to keep that ring finger down. And I'm just lifting the other 3 fingers, or the other 2 fingers there. Again, that rings a little longer, but it's super subtle and it's not a big deal because this is harder to do where you're keeping that ring finger down only to put the pointer finger back. I think I've confused you more than I've had to, but I'll talk through the measure one more time. Let's just hammer into the whole thing here. So I'm going to pinch 4 and 2, thumb and pointer. Then my thumb is on 3, my middle finger hits the 1st string. And then we have 4th, then the 2nd string open, 3rd string open with my thumb, and then my 1st finger goes down. And even there, one more note, when I put that one down, you're kind of getting ready for the next chord, which is a C chord. And I'm going to put that into the C chord. So 4, and then open on the 2nd string with the pointer, open on the 3rd string with the thumb, then put your 1st finger down on the 2nd string, and then with the pointer again. And then we're going right into the next measure. All right, I need everyone to comment down below. I know Dave at this point in the video is getting frustrated. He's thinking, oh shit. And he has no idea how he's going to figure this song out to propose for. So encourage Dave down below, okay? Comment below. You can do it, Dave. Write it in big letters, capital letters, lots of exclamation points. Dave, we know you can do it. And then Dave, you can imagine everyone here at Mike's Music Method doing the slow clap. And the inspirational music is building. And the clap's getting faster. And you're getting excited, Dave. The adrenaline's coursing through you. Everyone's screaming. You're going to do it, Dave. Don't get discouraged, all right? And remember, you can always simplify this stuff later on, and we'll talk about that later when we incorporate the singing, timestamps below. And don't worry, you're going to do it, Dave. We know you can do it. And then 9 is simple. We just have 5, 3, then move that finger up. 6, 3, 4, 2. Almost identical to measure 4, but there's no pinch at the beginning. And then we end it the same way we kind of ended the other one. But again, a little different. 5, 3, 6, 2, 3. And it's thumb, 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 pointer, thumb. And that is the entire intro. The excellent news is that a lot of that is repeated in the verse. And I promise that tricky measure, don't worry too much about it. You can always simplify it, which that measure 8. You can honestly just play an F chord the whole time. No one's going to be any the wiser except me and maybe one absurd friend you have who's amazing at guitar. But probably not. It's going to sound fine on the F chord. No one will know. And let's go on with the verse because you got most of it down under your belt. It's just putting in the order and getting the words down to it. And let's just do it. All right, let's start doing the verse. We are just going to run through the guitar parts and then we will put the lyrics on top of it afterwards. So if you're getting a little lost with where we are, don't worry about it. We're going to want to just learn the guitar part separate and straight, and then we'll tag the words on later. And you can always use the timestamps down below, or if you want to do, let's just do these 4 measures with the vocals, then use the timestamps down below to jump ahead and learn how you want to at your speed. All right, so here we go. Measure 9, 10, 11. Really cool hammer-ons there. So we're going to hammer on the 5th string. We're on a C chord. And then it's the 3rd. Hammer on 5, and then to 3. And then we hammer on the 4th string, open to 2. Then to the 3rd string. So hammer on 5, 3rd, 4, 3rd, and we end with the pointer on the 2nd string. Let's go right into 12. Just a simplified measure of what we did before. It's just 5, 3. Measure 12 is just a simplified measure 11. We've got 5, 3, 4, 2, 3. Thumb, 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 pointer, thumb. Measure 13, we mimic the intro, A minor, just pinching 5 and 2. G with the B in the bass, just pinching 5 and 2. Measure 14 is also a repeat of what we saw earlier. Pinching 5 and 1, 3rd string, move that ring finger up, and then it's 6, 3, 4, 2. Exactly the same as in the intro. Have you noticed this pillow, Dave? I put this pillow here for you because I've got these short shorts on, and just my legs are so masculine that I didn't want to tempt your lady before you pop the big question. So the pillow is here for your sake, Dave, all right? My masculine thighs might, you know what I'm saying. I don't want your wife. I'm happily married, but some women they find me so irresistible. So I've got the pillow here for you, Dave, okay? I'm looking out for you. I want you to be fruitful in life and multiply and have, be happily married. And next time I'll wear pants, okay? But the pillow's down. Don't panic. All you men out there, if your wives are behind you in the room, don't worry about it. I put the pillow down, okay? The pillow's down. You can't blame me. I would never do anything with your wife is number one. I'm taking this gag way too far. I'm the pillow. It's supposed to be funny. Let's stop with the infidelity. Moving on. Onward. Measure 15, a C chord, just 5 to 3. And here, I don't know, you can still call it a C, but it's kind of a G. It's hard to tell. He goes to that ring finger on the 6th string, and it's 6, 2, but that string is open, and then 3. So I guess he's going to a G, or he's just adding some color to the C chord. Either way, pretty simple measure. 5, 3, 6, 2, 3. Yeah, let's call it a G chord. That's easier to think about. C chord, then into the G. 6, 2, 3. And both of those are open. Thumb, 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 pointer, thumb. Measure 16. It's an F chord, but don't panic. Don't panic, guys. It's very simple this time, not the weird hammer-on. So let's get this down. Now, there are actually two ways to do this as well, but I swear it's easy. It's not like the other F chord. You can either do your F like this and just move that ring finger up, which is what I tend to do, or you can, where you have that ring finger up, just put your pinky underneath it, and then you can do the F chord like that the whole time, and then you don't have to worry about moving that ring finger in the left hand. So whatever's easier for you, but it's 5 and 2, 3 alone. So I did thumb and pointer, then the thumb's alone on 3, then that ring finger goes up, or it's already down, but then we have 5, 2, 3. Measure 17 is almost identical, except it's staggered. We have 5, 2, 3, or sorry, 4, 2, 3, 5, 2, 3. And he lifts the chord a little bit early, giving you a different note there, the G. And then into the next measure there. So one more time from 16, 3, 4. I'll just show you if I had all my fingers down, it would just look like this. A little less left-hand work. Yeah. Measure 18. Have a little, that same thing again where you play a note with the thumb and then a moment later you play it with the index finger. So watch out for that, but it's 5, 3 with just the thumb. And then it's 6, 3, but that's a quicker rhythm, so it's thumb, pointer. So we have 5, 3, 6, 3, 4, and it's thumb, 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 pointer, thumb, and then I've got the middle finger on the high E. Measure 19, a little bit more movement on the A minor. Yeah, I guess you could call that an E minor. Again, however you want to frame it. I'm just hearing it in A minor with some color. But we've got 5 to 3, and then 6. And here I lift up the chord after I hit the thumb, and I'm doing open on the second string with my pointer, then my thumb on the third string, then back to the second string, but I put my first finger down on the first fret. So that ending is 6, 2, 3, 2, thumb, pointer, thumb, pointer, and I'm adding that left hand note at the end. So that whole measure. And again, remember to lift that A minor at the last moment, right there. Right before I hit the second string, lift. And same thing here, once I hit that C, I'm going to prepare for the next measure because it's a C chord. Measure 20 is almost identical to 11. We got the hammer on the 5th string, then the thumb on 3, pointer on 2. Then we hammer on 4, and then the thumb on 3. But there's no and beat, it just ends at that hammer. 21 is a G chord, but our pinky is down on the 3rd fret of the B string, the 2nd string. Oh, and we've got 6, 3, and then the pointer plays the 2nd string. 6, 3, 2, 6, 3, thumb, thumb, and thumb, thumb. 22 is exactly the same as 19. Dave says, and Dave says here, I'll read it again, I will pay or do literally whatever I need to do. All right, I need more comments below. What should we have Dave do since I made this tutorial? We could request that Dave dress up like a chicken and do a chicken dance through whatever city he's from and film it and then have to publicly post it on YouTube and share it with Mike's Music Method community. I mean, I could ask Dave for like $50 or something, or $100, or I don't know what this is worth. Or it'd be way funnier if Dave had to do a chicken dance in a chicken outfit running through downtown and have his friends film him. So comment below. Whoever comes up with the best thing, that's what Dave has to do, because he did promise, I will pay or do literally whatever I need to do. So maybe chicken dance. That's a pretty good one. Let me know what else you have down below. Sorry, Dave, but you said it, man. Be more careful with your words. That's my marriage advice, number 1. Be careful with your words, all right? Don't make promises you can't keep, Dave. Marriage being the first and foremost. If you get married, don't get a divorce, Dave, okay? Marriage tip number 1 at Mike's Music Method. Keep your promises. 23 and 24 are a little different, but not really. We're back to the F, and we've got 4, 3, 5, right? So you got to move it up or voice it like that. or finger it like that rather. So 4, 3, 5, 2, 3, 1. And it's thumb, 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 pointer, thumb, middle. Measure 24, we start with the F, just 4, 3, but then we go back to this weird thing on where we've seen before. So I have 4, 3, bring that ring finger up to the 5th fret, and then I do open on the 2nd with my pointer, thumb on the 3rd, and then I put the first finger down on the 1st fret of the 2nd string. So again, the ending is borrowed from 17, 18, 19. Except it's on a C chord instead of that A minor. So it's 5, 2, 3, 2. Thumb, pointer, thumb, pointer. I guess you could even keep that 3rd fret C down the whole time. That might ring out a little better. Boom! This is the moment where I encourage you not to get discouraged. I know there are all these very subtle variations, but this isn't really him writing it note for note. I'm sure every time he plays this live, there's a lot of variation. So don't get too lost in the details in this one. I like to teach it the way someone played it just because you're always going to learn something new, right? Like, oh, I would have never thought to play it that way. And maybe Benjamin Todd didn't even intend to play it that way himself, but probably. It's hard to know. But all that I'm saying is that learn all these variations, but then when it comes to singing it, you're not going to have to obsess about, oh, I was on that F chord and did I lift the last note to be open? It doesn't matter, right? It's not going to ruin the song. It's not going to interfere with the singing. It's all just little color and embellishments that if you don't worry about. So if you feel like, oh, how am I ever going to memorize this? It doesn't matter. All you have to do is memorize the chord progressions, and as you get better at finger picking, you're just going to naturally put in your own things. Like anytime I grab a guitar, like I've got so many things in my brain, not even in my brain, just muscle memory that I can do on a C chord. And so I'm not, if I was going to sing something like that, like I just have all these different patterns and tricks that I know how to do. And that's kind of, as you get better at finger picking, you'll kind of have that in your repertoire and in your toolbox as well. So when it comes to playing this song, you're not going to be worried about, oh, I forgot how it goes. It doesn't matter. You know your F, your A minor, your C. You got the song, the chords down in which order they go. And eventually you'll learn just what fingers to embellish them with, what chords you can kind of lift and transition into other ones. So I just wanted to encourage you. Don't get discouraged about all these little nuances. You're going to learn the song, and let's keep going with it. Whew. All right, now that we're feeling good about ourselves, we're at measure 25, and we'll go through this pretty quick. There's some moments where we'll slow down, but let's keep going here. We've got a C chord, just subtle variation on the C, 5, 3, 2, hammer on 4, and then 3 alone. 26, very similar. In fact, exactly the same. And then 27, we'll spend a moment on. It's a little different. We've got a G chord. Again, our pinky is down on the 3rd fret of the 2nd string. And here, right at the beginning, he's doing 6. And I don't know if he's doing a heavy thumb on 3 and 2, or if he's pinching thumb and pointer. Whatever is easier for you, it's 6 and then 3 and 2. I kind of like the heavy thumb approach. And then it's 6, 3, 4, which is thumb, pointer, thumb. And then we've got open on the 1st string. And we're going to hammer into the next measure, open to 1. But when we do that hammer, it's a compound movement. So when we hammer that open to 1, at the very same time, I'm hitting the 6th string with my thumb. So you're only hearing that hammer on the 1st string, but then I'm adding my thumb at the exact same time that I hammer down. So all of that measure. Let's finish measure 28 here. So you've got that hammer, and then it's the 3rd string, and then it's 6, 3, 4, and then the 2nd string, that anticipation of the note C, which is in the F chord to come. So after that hammer on, and then we get ready for 29, which is an F chord. Pretty simple. 4, 3, 5, 2, 3, thumb, 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 pointer, thumb, then 30, thumb, thumb. We've seen this before. Right, that little funny walk again, which we learned up above a few measures ago. And then a C chord, a little different, this is new. We're in 31 here. Thumb is on 5, then pinching 3 and 1. And the pinky is down on the 3rd fret here. I didn't say that. So 5, then thumb in middle, and we get our 3rd fret down. Then it's 5, 2, 3, and then open on the 1st string. So that second half is thumb, pointer, thumb, middle. And those two parts together. Pinky down. Lift the pinky at the last possible moment to let it ring. Boo, lift. 32 is very simple. Just 5, 3, 5, 2, 3. 33 is a repeat with these hammer-ons. Same with 34. 35. An F chord, I think that is new, but again, really similar. He's hammering into the F, open to 3. But he's just lifting and doing a little anticipation. Well, it's not even an anticipation, it's just a G. Just a different chord note to get to the A. And here now we have the A minor with a little hammer on at the end. We're doing 5, 3, 6, 3, 4. So again, we're gonna do that thumb crossing thing where it's thumb, thumb on 5 and 3, and then it's 6, 3, but this time the 3 is with your pointer finger. Thumb, 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 pointer, thumb, and then so the thumb is 5, 3, 6, 4. And we lift the first finger. I suppose you could always have it lifted, but just know it's an A minor chord, but when he hits the 2nd string at the end of the measure, it is open. So that whole measure there. Here's a compound movement that's going into 37. When we do that hammer at the end of that previous measure, we also hit the 5th string. And then to finish 37, then it's a thumb on the 3rd string, 6, 2, open on the 3rd string with your thumb, and then back to 2. So what I'm doing there is I got the A minor, and it's 6, 2, then I lift these 2 fingers and do open. 3rd string open, and then 2 again with my pointer. Thumb, pointer, thumb, pointer. I suppose you could just lift the ring finger, but I lift them all to give my hand a little break there. So it's the hammer on. Still have this old fool. All right, marriage tip advice number 2, Dave, from this idiot on the internet. Don't degrade yourself. You're a handsome, educated, competent, virtuous, beautiful young man. So don't sell yourself short. You're not a fool, right? Sometimes we play a part and then we become the part. So don't play the fool in your marriage. Be the upstanding man. You're capable. Don't demean yourself, because you're only encouraging your woman to demean you, and you don't want to be in that situation. All right? Sorry. I'm preaching to you now. I'm having too much fun in this video. 38 is an F chord. Thumb alone on 4, then I do a heavy thumb on 3 and 2, then thumb on 5, pointer on 2, thumb on 3. Next measure is very similar, but it's just 4, 2, 3, thumb, pointer, thumb, and then 5, 2, and then you lift it again to get that open on the 3rd string. Oop. I'm lifting up the whole chord again as well. My screen is so fun. What color am I right now? What happened to my camera? Am I like looking yellow or green to you? 40 and 41 is the same as 36 and 37, so don't worry about it. It's that A minor with that compound movement. The same ending. Then we've got 42. Nothing new really. Hammer on 5, 3, 1, thumb, thumb, middle. Then hammer on the 4th string with the thumb, and then the thumb on the 3rd. 43, very similar A minor idea. 5, 3, 6. Then I lift the chord here and get 2 open and 3 open. So I lift that whole A minor. 5, 3, 6, 2, 3, 2. That same little idea where he's always adding that first fret there. Then to an F chord. Slightly different. 4, heavy thumb on 3 and 2. And then it's 4, 2, 3, 2. Thumb, 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 pointer, thumb, pointer. Back to a simple C. Thumb, 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 pointer, thumb. And that was 5, 3, 5, 2, 3. Then check this out. We're back to that little melody in 46 here, and we're basically done. Guys, is this the same as the beginning? Not the beginning, but that was somewhere in here. Pinching 5 and 1, thumb alone on 3. Pinching 5 and 1 with the pinky down, thumb alone on 3. Then that A minor. We've done this before earlier. Won't talk you through it. Then the F. That cool little F again. Then measure 49. Has that classic country walk. And it's slightly different in 50, but not really. We've seen that before as well. And that is all of it, with the exception of the coda. But that was a very long verse. And like I said, don't worry too much about it. We can simplify it if we sing it, but I did want to give it to you because you might learn some new tricks and it might improve your dexterity and agility. And let's focus on singing it, and then we'll do the coda. Measure 51, here's where the coda is. Let's do that. We're going to do it first, and then we'll put all the lyrics together, because you've seen all this before. So 51, mikesmusicmethod.com. All the tabs are free. What a guy. So let's do this. We've got hammer on 5, thumb alone. Whatever. We've seen that earlier. I'm not going to talk you through it. Then the next measure. And then we have the... And then just 5 and 1 on the C chord at the end. I don't think I need to explain anything. Pretty darn easy. Let's talk about singing it. All right, let's sing this together. We're going to do the first verse and a chorus. I'm going to be leaning into you because I don't know the words. But this is how I recommend it. I say this every time. Dave, practice it this way. First, make sure you know the melody. I didn't do that in this video. If you want another video, you are going to have to pay for the next one because this is taking a long time. But I'm super happy that I'm able to deliver this to you, man. But I would learn all of the melody on guitar, like figure out, if you have a good enough ear, every note that he's singing note for note and practice it that way. And I can't express how much that will improve your singing, to really not have it be abstract, but to find all the notes on the guitar and it'll implant it in your head. But that's a whole nother video. We can talk about that another time. The next step is to not follow along with the tab, just pull up the chords or follow along with the chords. And maybe just do some generic thumb work to the chords, and we'll sing with it that way. So we'll go really slow, and it just starts on that G chord. In the wake of all that's coming, it's so good to hold you dear. To the F, life is slipping by. Has it really been 10 years? I wish I could see me like you do sitting here. And even in your memory, I'm as clear. On a blue moon shining bright, I swear I could be all I might. If you'll still have this soul to fool, I'm so damn glad I'll end with you. That's how I would start it. I probably messed up the phrasing. I don't know this song that well. I've hyper-focused on the guitar playing, not really on the singing. But that being said, Dave, you're going to nail this song. I'll be honest, I don't like Benjamin Todd. What's his name? Benjamin Todd? I don't even know the guy's name. I don't really like his voice that much. There, I said it. I'm sorry. So, Dave, I'm excited to hear your version of the song. Record it and send it to all of us so we can share it. So that's what I do. And then maybe I'll do a generic picking pattern. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and I won't worry too much about what strings I'm doing. It's more about just getting the mechanics going, and then I play through the whole thing again. In the wake of all that's coming, it's so good to hold you dear. Life is slipping by, has it really been 10 years? I wish I could see me like you do sitting here. So clearly I'm playing like the wrong string sets and stuff, but it's just getting your voice and your guitar playing independent. And then I would start to piece together the kind of cooler fills and runs and get a little more specific about it. But that is the idea of singing and playing. I think you get it. If you have questions, comment below. And now I'll give you the slow run-throughs of the song. Rehearse like crazy to those slow run-throughs once you get it. Mess with the speed on YouTube. And of course, after you learn it before you practice it. And that's it. I'll shut up now. Best of luck to you, Dave. She'll say yes. We know it. Mike's Music Method is rooting for you, man. Ah! Mike's Intimate Music Method. From the top, real slow. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is a part where he's just kind of introducing the song, at least on that Gems for VHS version of the song. Then he starts singing. Repeats all the way back to the verse, which is measure 11, and that's the whole song. It's just a lot of repeats of that verse, and then at the very end, when he ends on 50 the last time, he just tags it with this little part. 1, 2, 3, 4. There are so many F, C's, A minors that it's just, I'm still confused about the song flow and the melody. But we'll all get there. Well done. Use the time, go down to the custom settings, your little icon in YouTube, and if that gets too slow for you, you can bump it up. If you hit custom, you can bump up to like 1.1 speed, 1.2, or drop it slower if I still went too fast for you. Good going. Yeah!